Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited today because I want to dive deep into something that's been a total game changer for me and my family. Joseph's Well, the air fountain system. If you're like me, living in an area where water shortages are becoming more common, or you're just into self-sufficiency and prepping for whatever life throws at you, this is gonna blow your mind. I've been using this system for a few months now, and honestly, it's one of the smartest investments I've made. Stick around because I'm going to give you an ultra-detailed breakdown of why I love it, how it works, my personal experience, and why I think it's worth every penny. Let's jump right in. First off, let's talk about what Joseph's Well, the air fountain system actually is. It's not some fancy gadget you buy off the shelf. It's a comprehensive digital guide created by this guy named John Gilmore, who's all about practical survival skills. John drew inspiration from the biblical story of Joseph, the one who prepared for famine by storing resources wisely, and he combined that with real-world tech, like the atmospheric water generators used by the Israeli military in desert conditions. Basically, it's a step-by-step blueprint to build your own device that pulls clean, drinkable water straight out of the air. Yeah, you heard that right, from thin air. It's called an atmospheric water generator, or AWG for short, and this system makes it super accessible for everyday folks like us to DIY it, without needing a ton of technical know-how. Now, I know what you're thinking. Does this really work? Isn't it just hype? I was skeptical at first too, especially with all the water crisis news out there. Droughts in California, contaminated supplies in some cities, and even those times when the grid goes down after a storm. But after researching a bit and seeing how it's based on proven science, I decided to give it a shot. The guide is all digital, so you get instant access after purchase, which is awesome. No waiting for shipping. It costs just $39 right now, which is a steal compared to commercial AWGs that run thousands of dollars. Plus, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee, so it's basically risk-free. I grabbed it during one of their promo deals, and let me tell you, the value inside is insane. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty of how this thing works. The core principle is condensation, which is the same natural process that creates dew on your grass in the morning, or fog on your car windows. The air around us is full of moisture. Even in dry climates, there's humidity floating around. The air fountain system teaches you how to build a setup that cools the air down to below its dew point, causing that moisture to condense into liquid water. It's like a souped-up dehumidifier, but instead of just dumping the water, it collects, filters, and purifies it for drinking. In the guide, John breaks it down so simply. You start with basic components, stuff you can salvage from old appliances like a mini fridge or dehumidifier, or buy cheaply from hardware stores. We're talking compressors, cooling coils, fans, some tubing, and a filtration system. No need for fancy tools. I used just a screwdriver, pliers, and a drill I already had in my garage. The instructions are crystal clear, with diagrams, photos, and even video links to walk you through each step. It took me about a weekend to put together, maybe 8 to 10 hours total, spread out over Saturday and Sunday. And the best part? It's scalable. You can build a small unit for personal use or a bigger one for the whole family. Once it's assembled, you plug it in or hook it up to solar panels if you're going off-grid, which the guide covers in detail, and it starts humming quietly in the background. The fan pulls in air, the compressor cools it, water droplets form on the coils, and gravity does the rest, dripping it into a collection tank. Then it goes through a multi-stage filter to remove any impurities, bacteria, or whatever else might be in the air. John emphasizes using high-quality filters, like UV or carbon ones, to make sure the water is safe and tastes great. In my setup, I added a simple remineralization step as suggested, and the water comes out crisp and fresh, almost like bottled spring water, without the plastic waste.
Speaking of performance, this system delivers on its promises big time. The guide claims it can produce up to 50 gallons of water a day, depending on humidity levels and the size of your build. Here in my area, where humidity averages around 40 to 50%, my medium-sized unit, which I built following the Family Edition plans, consistently gives me about 20 to 30 gallons per day. That's more than enough for drinking, cooking, watering my garden, and even filling up the dog's bowl. During a recent heat wave, when our municipal water was under restriction, this thing kept us hydrated without a hitch. I tested the water quality myself with those home kits you can get online. pH balanced, no contaminants, totally drinkable. And get this, it works even in arid conditions because it's modeled after tech that's been battle-tested in deserts. John shares stories of how the Israeli army uses similar systems to supply troops in the field, which gave me confidence that it's not just some gimmick. One of the things I absolutely love about Joseph's Well is how it promotes true independence. In today's world, with climate change messing with weather patterns and potential grid failures from storms or whatever, having your own water source feels empowering. No more relying on wells that could dry up or city pipes that might get contaminated. Plus, it's eco-friendly. You're harvesting water that's already in the atmosphere, reducing your carbon footprint compared to bottled water deliveries. The system runs super quietly too, so I have mine tucked away in the basement without disturbing anyone. And for preppers out there, the guide includes tips on making it discreet and portable, like for an RV or cabin. I even adapted mine to run on a small solar setup during a power outage simulation I did with my family. It worked flawlessly for hours. Now let's talk benefits, because there are so many. First, the cost savings are huge. I used to spend a fortune on bottled water, especially during summer, but now that's history. The initial build cost me under $200 in parts, and ongoing maintenance is minimal, just cleaning the filters every few weeks and checking the coils. It's built to last, too. John says with proper care, it can run for years. Health-wise, my family feels better knowing we're drinking pure water without fluoride or chemicals from tap sources. My wife noticed her skin improved, and I've got more energy, no more lugging heavy water jugs from the store. Spiritually, I appreciate how John weaves in biblical wisdom. It's not preachy, but it reminds you that preparation is a form of faith and stewardship. There are even community aspects. He suggests sharing the system with neighbors in emergencies, which builds that sense of togetherness. I've read some testimonials in the guide and online, and they echo my experience, like this one from a lady named Sarah, who used it during a hurricane and ended up supplying water to her whole block, or Emily, who hid hers during a chemical spill and became the hero of her community. It's inspiring stuff. Sure, it's not perfect for super low humidity areas without tweaks, but the guide has modifications for that, like adding a pre-humidifier if needed. Overall, though, the pros far outweigh any minor adjustments. In conclusion, if you're serious about water security, self-reliance, or just wanting a sustainable way to stay hydrated, Joseph's Well, the air fountain system, is a must-have. It's practical, affordable, and backed by real science and success stories. I've been thrilled with mine, and I can't recommend it enough. Head over to their official site, I'll link it in the description, and check it out. Remember, they've got that money-back guarantee, so what do you have to lose? If you've tried it or have questions, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more reviews on survival gear and homesteading tips. Thanks for watching, stay hydrated, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.